Whether over days or years, change does a lot for humans. We grieve our troubles when we can't celebrate our triumphs, but without one or the other, we'd lack both. Sounds simple. It's not. To deal with all this change, our aptitude has sharpened, such that we've mastered the most disappointing ineptitudes of all Earth's beings. We know how to purify water almost as much as we know how to toxify it. Yet, we're still learning how water really works. All that aptitude occurs quite naturally to us humans, so why wouldn't nature require change as well? Unrelatable to most of humankind, change is really what balances nature. It produces everything all of this needs, it produces everything we need, and it could produce more. So why make stasis where chaos reigns? Water is like 26th most important thing in my life. Numbers 25 through 3 is like Mamma Mia, the musical. Water is the most important thing to you if you're an earthly mortal. Don't forget all the other mortals, too. Natural seasonal floods, getting caught in the rain, even your water bills. It's a pretty small price to pay for all this. You know, have you ever felt black sod soft between your toes? That's what makes it happen. Try to count all the shades of green you see around me. Hell, you can get your perfume here, you can get seasoning for your Brussels sprouts, you can even get berries to put in your wine glass. Have you ever tasted groundwater? Like BPA free, straight up tastes like dirt in a good way. Groundwater. Have you ever tasted dirt in a good way? Well, have you ever had a Freezy Pop? Freeze Pops, they're like 90% water. Don't quote me on that, that's unsighted. In practice, our society disregards the laws of nature, upholds instead the laws of our sweet democracy, right, Nebraska? Despite humanity's short-term convenience, the laws of nature require a different, more patient chaos than that of congressional providence. Think of the soil as the earth's skin. Water soaks through every pore, just like ours, and it holds up valley floors like it holds up all your cheeks and stuff. It shapes the land, it floods it with fertile silt, it breaks up all the polywhorls and pine cones into some delicious stuff that all of this can actually make use of. Most importantly, it's the main thing that the freaking ground has in common with the freaking sky, and we saw that and said, I like golf. Your watershed, the region from which all water flows to a certain body of water, is a difficult science. TVs, LEDs, www.coms, that's all, I don't know, orcish magic. But the watershed is incomparable in its, for lack of a better word, intelligence. I mean, we can harness the tiniest particles of friggin' death rocks and melt them into raw power to charge our robot slaves. But unfortunately, only in recent decades are we really understanding the hydrological processes that have dominated Earth and us since, like, at least 10 years ago. Watersheds work very hard, but civilization, we've kind of stifled that. How? How did we do that? What did they do in Chinese legend? Magic. Filthy, freaking polluted magic. Thing is, the watershed works fine. It works for everything just by itself. That's why there's this forest. Big or small, wetlands are the great processors of the watershed's computations, and they're a son of a bitch to develop upon. If it's worth a damn. Watersheds are more efficient than farming a wetland tile ever could be. Of course, there's the water bodies. This water body moves faster or slower, respectively, during greater or lesser inflow, or when it gets narrower or wider, and some don't move at all. Depending on the stream's origin, it can be warmer or colder and support different organisms who break down all the debris in their own ways. Up to a certain point, the more time there is to decompose dead stuff, the more rich the environment will become with the live stuff. If it doesn't decompose at all or just sits in a landfill, well, What do you think? Among all that other jazz I mentioned, the kind of debris that gets in the water and what plants and microorganisms can break it down into nutrients are determinant of what else can live there. But not just in the water. Everywhere in the watershed. And everywhere is in a watershed, so how'd we get in on all that connection? Well, we did this. You proud of me, Ma? You see, all that pavement and dredging and reshaping the land is kind of really embarrassing to nature. It obscures natural flows or prevents them entirely, and it makes it real easy for all our neat ideas like bug spray and cigarettes to enter the water regime unfiltered. We tell it where to flow, what to do, we stop the natural hyporeic process, we poison it like it's Rasputin. But either we're gonna have to find a way to flow with that water, we'll waste it all away, or it's gonna come back, blasting Ride of the Valkyries, and flush us the hell out. From the creek green shrouded by the riparian like a filter, to the silty alluvial plain that digests everything falling from a briar-laden slope, topped off in an intensely biodiverse oak savanna, one of Earth's most endangered ecosystems. Without climate-changing magic, seasonal floods spread all that nutrition in the water up to the first slope of the floodplain, and other floods too, like centennial floods, would nutrify the oak savanna and beyond. And every second, the water bodies are shaping the land around them. So is all the other water too. Water moves everywhere and causes change as it goes. Even in dry areas, what doesn't evaporate again and what isn't absorbed by some earthly mortal seeps through the soil and bedrock and enters deep underground aquifers that put most of Earth's unfrozen water to work. Where do you think the springs come from? Water is gonna make us change if we don't change with it. Change! We should understand that, us humans. We too have intricate and sophisticated complexes. But how's about we change together, nature and us? You know, get this crazy, toxic, codependent relationship back under control. Get a counselor or something. Bioswales! This is like the couples counselor for us and our water bodies. We take the hardiest, most efficient of these plants and arrange them thusly to denastify all of the water that our pavement and whatnot nastifies before it enters our water bodies and nastifies that. We can build these as a buffer between developed stuff and threatened undeveloped stuff, or we can build them wherever water likes to flow throughout the watershed. We can even throw a little bit of our magic into them if we please. Bioswales are just a small example of green infrastructure, utilizing human ingenuity, given present circumstance, to restore nature's natural flow. Bioswales, native plant gardens, constructed wetlands, even just parks and no-mow zones are fantastic examples of green infrastructure. And it's easy. It's a hell of a lot cheaper than, treating our water or finding it when it's gone. It makes use of the work that the watershed already does without our intervention, and it's gorgeous. It's really just connect the dots, one undeveloped area to the next. No construction, no higher water bills. You just say, hey, we don't need this quarry, hey, this hotel sucks, hey, I don't like golf, and you connect them. Pretty easy. You pay a few knowledgeable people just to watch it, make sure nature adjusts to everything okay, and then otherwise we just enjoy the benefits. It's like when you're a widowed, wealthy, superficial dad of 3, and you hire Fran Drescher to take care of everything instead of you because she had style, she had flair, she was there, And then you get all this stuff.